What's going on, guys? Crucible here, and today we are going to be going over the red archetype for set 4 of Fusion World. All of the entire card list has dropped, so we are going over every single archetype, breaking down all of the reveals, seeing what works with what, some tech with certain cards, how you can kind of make some of these work for you. And just seeing like how good set 4 is going to be. Some of these archetypes with the leaders and stuff seemed a little underwhelming just based off of SRs and extra cards and stuff that's been revealed. So I'm really hoping that for some of these leaders, especially like this UI Goku, there wasn't a whole lot, I think, given for UI Goku in terms of like the SR reveals, but now that we have the full set list, I think we can make a determination in terms of how good he'll actually be based off of the support we've gotten. So let's get into it. So we have Son Goku on his front side, where when you're at 3 life or less, you flip this card over, and he becomes MUI Goku. And he's a 20k swinger, where you activate battle once per turn, choose up to 1 battle card in a battle area, and this card's original power becomes the same as that card's power for the battle. So this is a strong effect. He loses his draw, which kind of sucks, and I think that's really going to hurt this guy in the later matches. But the way I look at this guy is blitz potential. How high can this guy swing going into like the mid to the late matches, right? So in terms of how hard this guy can swing, based off what we've seen so far, the highest that he's able to swing at any one point is probably 45,000 on your board. And then on your opponent's board, it's going to be really dependent on what your opponent's playing. So say you're playing green, for example, and they have the secret rare Gohan on board. You have 50k that you could use that effect on. But what's crazy about this card too is that not only can you use this on offense, you can use this effect on defense. So you're essentially saving combo power from hand to defend this guy, depending on what you have. So like with the new SR Frieza, like the first turn that he's played, he's a 45k swinger that can't be removed from battle, so or be removed from the board by effects. So this card will be great, or that card will be great for this deck on defense because it's 45,000 power. You just use that on your opponent's highest swing and you're fine. You don't have to combo 2-3 cards out of hand to block that. So I think this guy is going to be strong. It's just going to be really dependent on what comes with him. What other stuff can we run with this guy to really like blow up his ability, right? But I think he's pretty strong, all things considered. Then we got Super Combo. It's just a Whis. Again, I would like to see Super Combos start doing more than just being Super Combos. Or at least give us cards that are able to search and actually add these cards to hand from the search, because not every super combo is able to be added to hand. Just something to kind of make these a bit more either easier to grab or have additional effects to kind of bolster up things. Otherwise, like, we're just going to keep getting super combos forever and ever and ever, and then we just pick we just pick whichever one we want to run, right? Then we got a 3 cost Obuni, 20k power, 10k combo. On play, play up to one Obuni with 20,000 power or less from your hand. Then you can't play Obuni for the turn. This reminds me of Obuni in blue in Masters. Because Obuni in blue in Masters did kind of the same thing. Like, he played... I think he played tokens specifically. I think he played tokens. But it was basically what this guy did. He basically played, like, tokens that you could swing with into like your opponent. So I like this tech. I like that this card exists in Fusion World again. And honestly, that type of effect works better in red than it does in blue, in my opinion, anyway. So yeah, this is fun. This is fine. I think this is a fine card. Just being able to get 2 20k swingers on board at once. In a later match, you could make this work for you. Because it's basically later, like, especially like in Jiren. Like Jiren, you could play a bit more on the aggressive side with this if you incorporate this in Jiren, since Jiren's able to get up to like 8 energy with no issues. Yeah, I mean, stat line's fine. The effect is fine. I like this card. Then we have a Golden Frieza. This is the first Golden Frieza in This is the first Golden Frieza in red. That's interesting. 3k power, 3 cost, 20k power, 5k combo. Permanent skill on your opponent's turn. This card gets 10,000 power. Okay. So nothing we've not seen before. And then on play, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 15,000 power or less and KO it. I think it's okay. The permanent skill's good. Makes them a little bit harder to remove through battle. That on play effect, you're gonna need some minusing potential, I think, to really like get that to work. On curve, I think this guy would be fine. On curve, this guy would be fine. Playing later into the match may not be as viable, and you're probably not playing 20k power stuff later in the game anyway. In most cases, I think it's fine. I don't think it's anything crazy, but I think it's fine. Removal is usually pretty good. Then we have Universe 4 Shansa. 2 cost, 20k power, 5k combo. This card cannot be KO'd by your opponent's skills. Okay, so he's a weaker... He's essentially a weaker Bergamo? Because Bergamo was he cannot be KO'd, right? Whereas this is just skills. Like you can still be killed by battle. You just can't be killed by opponent's skills. Yeah, I think he's a worse Bergamo. I think it's probably a little bit of a better stat line. Bergamo is 3, right? He's a 3 cost. I think it's okay. It's not anything crazy. I probably won't run it, but you can maybe make it work. All right, a 6 cost Jiren. Oh god, 6 cost Jiren. 40k power, 0 combo. Permanent skill. This card can't be removed from the battle area by your opponent's skills. Jiren needed this so bad. Jiren needed this so bad. I thought getting the Topo was going to be like just good enough for Jiren, but no, like this card. Woo! Okay. So, he's a 40k body that protects your leader, your Jiren leader, and he can't be removed by skills, so you have to kill him by battle. And then on play, if your leader has Pride Troopers and its special traits and your opponent's life is at 2 or more, you take a damage, then deal 1 damage. What? What? Okay. So I'm flabbergasted. Okay, so this is a risky play. This is a play that you make in order to take out your opponent. If you cannot take out your opponent, this puts you in a really bad spot. And if you don't have a 4-cost Jiren on board to res the life back into your health, yeah, like this is a do or die card. You play this card, your opponent's at 2 or more. Ideally, you want to play this at 2, because if it's at more, well, no, hold on, I'm overthinking it. So it's only when your opponent's at 2 or more. Not when you're at 2 or more. So if you're still alive with 3 life, you could play this at 3 life, go to 2. You would still be able to use the SR Jiren effect if you needed to. But you're dealing damage to your opponent and you're applying additional pressure onto your opponent. He's a 40k body that can't be removed, so he protects your life. You can't be double striked that turn. Yeah, this is a really good card. This is a really good card. Ideally, you want to play this when your opponent's at 2 life, right? Playing it before that, I could still see the usage, but you can only play this so many times in a game. There's only so many times you can play this before like it starts becoming an issue for you. And this card coupled with the SR Jiren works a lot better because you're able to reset your life after you take a damage, right? So I mean, this is a good card. Jiren needed a card like this. But yeah, I don't think you're running this at a 4 of. You're probably running this at like a 2 of. Because you're not playing this every turn. You are not playing this until your opponent is at least 3 life. But it's a really good card. Jiren really needed that. That's cool. I like that. We got a 1-cost Shin, another one, and Shin once again has a smug ass face. I don't. Every Shin has a smug face. I don't understand. He's a 1-cost, 5k power, 5k combo. On play, look at 3 cards from the top of your deck, then reveal up to 1 card with Universe 7 and its special traits and add it to hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your owner's deck. This is a terrible searcher. Like the extra card for you 7 looks at the top 5, and it has a dual purpose, which also allows you to protect yourself for 15, or is it 10? One of the two. This is a worse searcher. I don't like this. I don't like this Shin at all. Then we got the Shin Mini Daima, 1-cost, 5k power, 10k combo. Activate main, place this card in its owner's drop. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 10,000 power for the turn. I don't like this card either. The fact that it's a 10k combo means it's a really good card to have in hand. But why would I play this for 1 energy just to minus something for 10,000 when there's other cards that just do this better? Yeah, I don't like that card either. All right, 1-cost, 15k power, 0 combo, Android 17, where on your opponent's turn, if your leader is awakened, this card gets 10,000 power. There's absolutely no reason this card can't have combo power. Like, what is this card doing? Like, it wants you to play this. It wants you to play this after your leader's awakened. And but it only works on your opponent's turn. So you're not swinging with this card at all. Like, what is this card doing? The only thing that I can think of would be if there's a card that lets you play this for free. Would be the only way I could see this being viable to some extent. But even then, in U7 he goes to 20, so he's a 1-cost 20 power. And then on defense he's 25. The 1-cost Frieza is just better. The 1-cost Frieza, like from set 2, I think, is it 2? He's just better because he's 25k on swing for 1-cost. Yeah, this card's not great. I don't like this card either. Then we got the Zeno, 6-cost, 25k power, 10k combo. On play, choose all of your battle cards other than this card, and they get minus 25,000 power for the turn. So I've had to think about this for a little bit. This guy's not as good as the blue Zeno, right? Like, it's like he's just not better than the blue Zeno. And in terms of other cards that have been revealed that we know of, this guy is not as good as the new secret rare. But in a emergency situation where you don't have your secret rare to minus your opponent's entire board, and you don't really have much that you're playing with either, like you don't have a whole lot on board yourself, this guy could come in clutch in like an emergency situation. You literally hit the oh no button and play this guy, and you try to heavily remove what's on your opponent's board, right? Like, that's what this guy is designed to do. Now, would I run a lot of this guy in any red deck? Probably not. Like, I would probably run this guy in Beerus. I think this card is probably decent in Beerus because you have the additional 10k minusing from Beerus, and all the other minusing potential that you can do. But I think in every other deck, I think you're just running the secret rare more. I mean, he's a 10k combo, right? He swings for 25, so he's going to be hitting like every leader. I think it's fine. I think it's a fine card. I don't think it's great by any means. There's other cards that are just better than this card, but I mean, this card I think is fine for what its intended purpose is. Then we got a UI Son Goku, 4 cost, 30k power, 5k combo. On your opponent's turn, this card gets 10,000 power. That's good. 40k for 4 cost on your opponent's turn makes it really hard to remove. He's a target for the UI Goku. That's what the... That's literally what this guy's meant to do. Still sucks. This Android 17 still sucks. Because, I mean... If you have that 4 cost over this guy on board, like, why would you ever choose this guy when you can only use the effect once and you have like a 30 to 40k on board? But I understand what their thought process was for this guy. This is pretty good. I think this is really good. 40k on defense, 30 on offense, on turn 4. Now, do you want to be awakened on turn 4? Probably not. You probably want to defend as much as possible since you don't get that draw. But, yeah, I think that's cool. I like the card. It's fine. Then we got Daima Mini Goku. 2 cost, 20k power, 10k combo. Permanent skill, if your leader is awakened, this card gets 10,000 power. And then on play, you have to take a life from your hand, or you have to add 1 card from your life to your hand. This card is going to be insane. This is going to be a must run, I think, in most red decks. At the very least of a 2 of. The fact that on an awakened side, if you're able to play this guy on curve and play this guy to awaken yourself to 4 and then you awaken, this guy's a 30k on board, which is really strong. And even if you don't stick him on board, like, you're still self-awakening in the early game, and he's a 20k swinger for 2. That's 10k in hand. Really strong card. On perfect curve, if you're able to defend, like for UI Goku, right? UI Goku specifically, you don't want to awaken early, so you defend as much as you possibly can with UI Goku. Like playing this guy, getting up to like 5-6 energy, right? You're at 5 energy, or you're at 5 life. You play this guy back to back. You're putting 2 cards in hand to replace them in hand, and awakening, and then you have 2 30ks on board plus your leader swing. I like this card. This card's really good. It's really nuts. And that's the alt art. Alt art looks really good. Then we got 2 cost Gohan, 15k power, 10k combo, where on your opponent's turn, this card gets 10,000 power. Again, I understand the mentality of what they're trying to do here. The stat line's terrible, though. You're strictly only using this for the defensive potential of the awakened leader, but you're not going to be playing this guy in the mid to late game. I mean, this one, you can play this guy early, swing into your opponent's unawakened leader for 15 for some extra pressure, and then he's 25k, so he's a little bit harder to remove in battle. But again, I'm not like the biggest fan of this, of what they're trying to like do here. Like they could have made this a little better. They could have made this a 3 cost 20k, and I would have been happy with that. But this stat line is not great in my opinion. Then we got 3 cost, 20k power, 10k combo Grand Priest. or Great Priest. On play, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 5,000 power for the turn for each of your battle cards with Angel in their special traits. Again, not a card I'm crazy about. This card, if we get like a leader that's an Angel card, and we get a bit more Angel support, sure, I think this guy could actually be decent. But as of right now, the Angel archetype is not really like anything crazy, so I don't really see much use for this guy at this current moment. Then we got a 2-cost Dispo, 20k power, 5k combo, where auto once per turn. When you take damage, this card gets 10,000 power for the turn. This card's great for Jiren too. Yeah, this card's great too. This actually makes, you know what this does? There's the set 3 Dispo where you can crit a life from yourself and take a damage, right? You take a damage instead of KOing, having him die on board. You could make this guy a 30k power defensive card off of that Dispo, I think. So that actually kind of makes that Dispo a little more viable. But that's only on defense, so I don't know. I mean, this card's great for Jiren regardless. Whether you use the Dispo from last set or not, this card's great for Jiren. Just being a 2-cost 30k power for the turn. He'll have some great blitz utility in the mid to late game when you're actually damaging yourself. And then when your opponent attacks you, he's a bit harder to remove. So I like this. This is a good card for Jiren. Then we got the 4-cost 30k power, 5k combo Topo, where on play you take a damage, and if your leader is awakened, add the top card of your deck to your life. This is great for Jiren in the sheer fact that when you're going up against blue, right? Or even like black with Pan, they have cards and tech where before you're ever attacked, they're able to remove your SR Jiren off the board. And therefore you lose the ability to get that double draw. Whereas what's nice is that with this, you can play this card on your terms and still get that double draw, which is really effective for, So he's 30k power, so he defends Jiren's life. You can't be double striked when you have this guy on board. You can still swing with it and have it mean something. You're still getting the draw. Like this card's really good into blue and pretty good into black, which is exactly what Jiren needed. He needed options that would allow him to facilitate the draw that he wants when he needs it, on his terms, rather than relying on your opponent to do it for you. So this is great. I like this Topo. Oops. All right, 3-cost, 25k power, 5k Beerus, or 5k combo Beerus. On play, discard 1 card from your hand, and then choose all your opponent's battle cards with 15,000 power or less and KO them. Okay, so you definitely want to run this in Beerus. Yeah, against certain decks, this isn't a bad card. The stat line's great. 3-cost, 25k power, so that's really good for Beerus. Discarding a card from hand kind of hurts for Beerus, because Beerus doesn't have that much in the way of draw power. But with his minusing potential, you can get a 20 to 25k card that's on board, that's at 15,000, and bring him down to 15,000 power, and then KO everything else on board. Like, I could see the utility for this. And on curve, right? Beerus doesn't really have a good turn 3 on play curve. Like right now he has the Self-Awakener Beerus that plays the 5-cost Beerus for cheaper, but if you don't have the 5-cost Beerus, it kind of doesn't make sense to play that card all the time. So this is a 3-cost option for Beerus that can actually work pretty well on curve. So I think this is good. I think that's fine for Beerus. And it's good to know that those set 1 leaders are still getting support. All right, then we have Frieza, 5-cost, 25k power, 5k combo. On play, if your leader has Universe 7 in its special traits, until the end of the opponent's next turn, this card cannot be removed from the battle area by your opponent's skills, and it gets 20,000 power. And then when attacking, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets 10,000 power for the turn. So this card's good in like every U7 deck. So Universe 7 Goku, it works. This card can work really well in Beerus. This card can work. This card is designed for UI Goku, but you can use it in other stuff. The fact that he can't be removed from the battle area by skills and gets 20,000 power for the first turn is fantastic. Which with that means that you're getting that minus 10,000 power twice. So you're getting minus 20,000 power worth of value out of having this guy on board. And he's not a dead card in hand. He's 5k power. Really good card. I think this works really well in the new Goku, but I think this can be a pretty good card for every other U7 deck. Then we got a 4-cost, 30k power, 0 combo Vegeta. When attacking, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 15,000 power for the turn. This is fine. I don't hate this. Just a consistent minus 15,000 power if he stays on board. 30k is not that easy to get over all the time. He can get removed from blue and black and stuff with relative ease. But I mean, that's still a strong effect for what it's doing. 30k swinger. 30k swinger that's able to minus 15 every turn if he stays on board. Really good. Honestly, might actually be a decent card for Beerus too. Then we have Boda Magetta. That's an interesting choice. 2 costs, 20k power, 0 combo. When KO, add up to 1 Botamo and 1 Magetta, both with the cost of 2 or less, from your drop to your hand. That's cool. Okay. That's actually really good. So it's a 2 cost, no combo, but that's fine anyway, right? Like, ideally you're comboing with the Botamo and Magetta for early off anyway. Oh, but it goes to from your drop to your hand. You're not playing it. Okay, that's different. Again, it still stems from the fact that we need like a Universe 6 leader. This is great support. When we get a Universe 6 leader, like, this is going to be great support for Universe 6, but as it stands right now, it's not a good card. So you're not using this at any point. So it's cool to have. We're future proofing, but in terms of what it's doing this set, it's not anything to talk about. Then we got a 2 cost, 20k power, 10k combo, Vanilla Mona. It's whatever. It's a vanilla. Alright, then we got into extra cards. 1 cost, Extreme Ultra Instinct. Activate main. Choose up to one of your battle cards with an original power of 30,000 power or more, and Universe 7 in its special traits, and it can't be removed from the battle area by the skills of your opponent's battle cards until the end of your opponent's next turn. The fact that this is for a 1 cost is actually pretty good. This is great in Universe 7. Certain cards in the UI Goku leader, this is actually pretty good for. I mean, I don't think you're really using this much in Jiren. You might be using this in Beerus with Universe 7 cards. You don't really have many 30k power Universe 7 cards that you're running, so probably not so much in Beerus. I mean, it's a strong card for 1. I think there's some cool tech with this, and it allows you, especially in the UI Goku deck, this allows you to protect your board, which gives you options for your leader. So I think this is fine. I think it's a good card for UI Goku at least. Then we got Heat Aura, 3 cost. If you have a Jiren with 30,000 power or more, choose all of your opponent's battle cards and they get minus 25,000 power for the turn. So this is for the SR Jiren and the 6 cost Jiren. Although you're probably not playing this with the 6 cost Jiren because you're not gonna have 9 energy in most games. But with the 3 cost Jiren, I mean that's good if you're able to keep Jiren on board, but it's a matter of making sure that Jiren stays on board. I think you could use this. I think there's use. I just don't know how often you're going to be playing this. It's a strong effect though. It's a really strong effect. And then arch enemies team up, 1 cost. If you have a Frieza battle card with Universe 7 and its special traits, your Son Goku that's in a battle gets 20,000 power for the battle. So this works on the new SR. This works on the 1 cost Frieza. And then every vanilla Frieza too. We got a 3 cost Frieza that's not bad to run now too. So that's another option that you can use this with. And then your Son Goku that's in a battle, it gets 20,000 power for the battle. So this works on leaders. So this works on all your Goku leaders. Which is really good. It's a 1 cost. I like this card. I think it's a pretty good card. Then inexhaustible power, 2 cost. Activate battle, your turn. Your cards that are in a battle get 25,000 power for the battle. Then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and it gets minus 15,000 for the power for the battle. The cost isn't bad. You're getting 40,000 power worth of... You're getting 40,000 power worth of value off this card. Works really well if it works really well if you're looking to get rid of something like troublesome on board. This ain't a bad card either. I don't mind this. I think this will work a lot better than the other Jiren card. Just because you don't have that restriction of having the SR Jiren on board. But yeah, no, I mean, this is fine. All right, then we have the secret rare. Finally wrapping up here. So let's see what the difference is between the two. All right, so there's a bit more foil on the Awaken, but it's the exact same art. I mentioned this in the in one of my previous breakdown videos. The reason that I think that they did the secret rare this way is due to the fact that set 5 is going to be the 1-year anniversary of Fusion World. And so I think they chose to do this because with the 1-year anniversary coming up, I think they wanted to put a lot of the budget into that set. Because we're going to get set 5. We're potentially going to get an anniversary box of some sort. So rather than invest money and budget into this set, it might be more beneficial to celebrate the game as a whole and put it into next set. That's why I see these cards being, you know, the same, but not the same, you know, which I think is fine. But it's a UI Goku, 6 cost, 40k power, no combo. On play, until the end of your opponent's next turn, negate the next damage you take, and then when attacking, choose all of your opponent's battle cards and they get minus 20,000 power for the turn. This card is really good for red. I think a lot of red decks are going to be running this card. Basically, you choose which cards you want to defend, right? So usually that's going to be your lower cost swings from your opponent. You're going to combo what you want to defend against, so you don't take the damage. Then, on a swing that you're not able to really defend or don't want to defend, you just take the damage while this guy's on board, and it gets negated outright. And then as long as this guy is sticky on board, he's minusing 20 to all opponent's battle cards every turn for minus 20, which is really strong. This card's going to be a fantastic in Jiren. This card's going to be pretty good in most red decks, albeit you're probably not going to be running a lot in other red decks compared to UI Goku and Jiren. But I think this is a fantastic secret rare. Way better than the one we got in set 1. So, but that is going to do it for red, I think. I don't think there's anything else that's coming out Oh, I mean, we obviously got, what is this? Is this the judge? Are they going over the judge cards? Yeah, I guess that's a judge card. So, but yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know down in the comments below. What are you excited about for set 4 red? Are you a Jiren fan? Are you excited that he's finally going to be extremely viable now? Are you excited for UI Goku? Let me know down in the comments below, but feel free to subscribe, like the video for more. And with that said, I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace.